Tanjiro remembers how his father seemed like a plant. He had never shown any emotional outburst and was always gentle, maintaining his demeanor until his death. Whenever Tanjiro remembers him, he immediately pictures his soft smile and calming voice. Tanjiro recalls a question he asked his dad about what he thinks when he performs the Hinokami Kagura. Even as a child, Tanjiro knew that the dance involved performing all 12 moves from night till dawn continuously, worried about his frail body. Tanjiro asked if he could be the one to do it next year. Tanjiro thanked his son for his concern, but brushed aside his worry, stating that in his later years performing it, he hasn't felt tired. He remembers learning it from his own father, but he knew that even when he was younger and healthier, doing it exhausted him greatly. He figured out that although the forms had useless moves, what mattered was using the correct breathing and movements, as well as releasing all your strength through minimal movement. Tanjiro stated that by doing this, your mind becomes invisible. But to properly do so, he had to find his movement and sensations, utilize all his senses, and gain complete awareness of his body. He told his son that by doing all of this, he could learn to remove unneeded parts of the Hinokami Kagura and learn just to do what is necessary and close off everything else. Tanjiro asked how he could do everything else, and his father responded by saying, "It's like people closing their eyes to hear better. His body will adapt and their movements will become natural." Tanjiro told him that when his mind becomes invisible, he will see into the transparent world. But this is the end, as his body would have reached its absolute limit. An amazed Tanjiro asked if he could do it as well, and he was told that he could by working hard and not slacking off. An incident happened 10 days later, before Tanjiro's death. A bear had come to the mountain, killing and devouring people. As the Kamado family slept through a blizzard, Tanjiro suddenly awakened and got up, after which he asked his sleepy elder son to accompany him. As Tanjiro and Tanjiro wandered outside, the two encountered the very bear, which was standing over 2 meters tall and was already believed to have killed at least 6 people. A frightened Tanjiro watched his father confront the bear with only an axe and his frail body. Tanjiro apologized for its hunger, but warned the creature that coming any closer would mean facing him. He told the bear that if anything tried to harm his family, he would show no mercy and take its life. As the bear roared and lumbered forward to kill him, Tanjiro swung his axe and leaped up, decapitating the bear before it could move a step forward. As its giant head dropped to the ground, Tanjiro tried to piece together what had just happened. In that instant, Tanjiro would have had to swing twice to get completely through its neck, and with his sense of smell, he realized Tanjiro never wavered in the slightest. He had no hesitation, no fear, no intent to kill. With his plant-like presence, he simply killed it. Tanjiro looked behind and asked if his son had witnessed what happened. A shaken Tanjiro confirmed he saw what took place and ran to hug his father as he told his son to never forget what he saw. Tanjiro looked back and realized that this moment was a form of training his perception. He was supposed to learn to see into the transparent world, just like his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather before him. They would have had to learn in this way. He finally understood his father's words and thought back to when he managed to suddenly dodge Akaza's strike earlier that seemed like it was about to connect, though it would have surely killed him. He managed to somehow escape. For just a slight moment, when Akaza grabbed his blade and it was poised to swing, Tanjiro had entered that transparent world, seeing Akaza's muscles through his body as he did to Hantengu, managing to close off his other senses to dodge something completely unavoidable. His body became even faster. He apologized to Inosuke for doubting him, and Tanjiro steeled his resolve that while Giyu battles Akaza, he will use his newfound power to his best ability and beat the Demon King Muzan. Having seen the transparent world momentarily, Tanjiro realizes his own movement and speed have increased greatly. He is able to see how Akaza's body reacts in battle and concludes he may be able to behead him if he removes his battle spirit completely to avoid his senses. Akaza begins to overwhelm Giyu, the latter having used all of his water-breathing forms, only for Akaza to immediately adapt to all of them. The Upper Moon decides to finally kill him, commending the Hashira for lasting this long in battle. As Tanjiro attempts to enter the selfless state, Giyu tries to strike the demon's head directly. Akaza responds by using the side of his fist to break Giyu's Nichirin sword without getting harmed. As Giyu becomes stunned at having his sword broken, Akaza bids him farewell before crouching down to punch through his stomach. Suddenly, Akaza's hands fall off, saving Giyu from getting hurt, as Tanjiro has managed to enter the selfless state and bypass Akaza's compass needle. Giyu looks on at Tanjiro's new appearance and power. Akaza's body becomes stricken with uncertainty at Tanjiro's changed aura, so he deploys his final form. Technique development. Blue-silver chaotic afterglow. Giyu looks at this new threat and is uncertain if he can negate it with his own dead calm. Tanjiro, however, having seen into the transparent world again, is able to detect the attack with his increased perception and vision. Giyu is unable to beat Akaza's new technique and is knocked back against the wall. The demon commends him for surviving such a large number of fatal blows and tells him not to die like Kyojuro or Tanjiro, instead become a demon. Giyu, the water Hashira, becomes confused, wondering how Akaza can state that he killed Tanjiro when Tanjiro is standing directly behind him. Realizing that Akaza might be unable to sense his partner, he mutters to Tanjiro to go for the neck now that Akaza is unaware. Tanjiro calls out to the upper moon and declares that he will decapitate him, annoying Giyu for announcing his attack out loud. Akaza retaliates by attempting to swipe the demon slayer's head, only for Tanjiro to duck down to safety. Suddenly, he notices he cannot sense anything, seeing Tanjiro is completely different from before with his battle spirit seemingly gone. Akaza tries to calm himself and believes that he will be able to sense an attack, but without warning, his head is sliced completely off by Tanjiro. Giyu is stunned at Tanjiro's sudden improvement. Akaza declares that this is impossible despite being beheaded by Tanjiro. He had never encountered someone who could remove their battle spirit, commenting that fighting Tanjiro felt like fighting a plant. Despite his senses and compass not working properly on the battlefield, anything unexpected can happen. He notices Tanjiro managing to surpass his own speed in a short amount of time, but with his eyes showing no intent to kill. Akaza believes Tanjiro has achieved the selfless state he so badly wanted to attain himself, something he believes he should have done by now. The upper rank tries to put his head back on top of his neck with the resolve to continue fighting. However, Giyu flings his broken sword at his head, knocking it away from his grasp. The upper rank repeats his drive to continue to get stronger as his head starts to disintegrate. Tanjiro becomes relieved, but immediately stiffens up due to his body hitting its limits. However, upon seeing Akaza's body not disintegrating, Giyu and Tanjiro worriedly look on. Akaza's headless body activates destructive death, compass needle again, and immediately attempts to hit Tanjiro's neck, though he barely misses. The demon changes stance and hits Tanjiro square on the side, knocking him away. Tanjiro realizes Akaza is trying to make his head no longer a weak spot, similar to Muzan earlier. He tries to get up but faints due to his body reaching its absolute limit. Giyu sees Akaza going for his unconscious comrade and uses water-breathing fourth form, striking Tide to stop him, though the cut instantly heals. Giyu then declares that if Akaza wants to kill Tanjiro, he would have to go through him first, and takes his stance to fight once again. Akaza sees his indomitable spirit, one that does not bend in the face of any obstacle. Suddenly, he sees the same man from earlier, who comments that they wield the sword in their hearts. The things they use are their fists. Calling the man an eyesore, Akaza moves forward to engage Giyu, but is internally held back by the vision of a young woman wishing Hakuji-san to just stop already. As Giyu readies himself to fight Akaza once more, he realizes the severity of the situation. His body has reached its limits, his senses are failing, and his body is numb. The only thing keeping him up is his breathing, calling it a miracle that he can continue battling despite the heavy toll on him. Now, Giyu focuses on protecting the unconscious Tanjiro, resolving never to let friends or family die on his watch again, knowing Tanjiro would do the same. The woman's spirit grabs Akaza, telling him not to go. Akaza tells her to go away, asking who she is. She carefully begs him to go to the other side, but he only responds that he must kill Tanjiro and Giyu. When asked why, Akaza's only answer is that he must get stronger. When she asks why he needs to get stronger, he answers, because if I don't, I won't be able to bring the medicine back for Dad. As Akaza's memories come flashing back, we dive into a flashback where Akaza was once known as Hakuji, an 11-year-old boy who stole money and food to keep his father alive. One fateful day, he was caught, beaten, beaten and given tattoos to mark him as a thief. The village magistrate warned the boy his hands would be removed the next time he stole, only for him to say that they could cut them off as he still had his feet and would steal with those instead. The magistrate told him the beatings he received would cause a strong man to become numb, calling him a demon child for being able to handle it. The boy continued on, telling him to call him by that name, saying that he was born with fangs. After beatings and threats by the authorities, Hakuji walked home until a man informed him of terrible news. His father had heard he was caught once again and had hung himself in shame. While Hakuji was in the cemetery, he read the letter his father had written before his death. His father wrote, "Dear Hakuji, please live an honest life so that you can turn over a new leaf. I don't want to live off money that has been stolen from others, and I am sorry for being a nuisance." After reading the letter and finding his headstone, Hakuji tearfully grabbed it and grieved his father's death. He asked how his father could make peace with such people, finally cursing the world and telling it that everyone could just go to hell. Hakuji recalled his beatings for stealing money and how he could endure anything for his father, no matter how severe. He wondered why his father had hung himself, declaring he would have died for him.